Is Dak Prescott worth $55 million a year? The internet's exploding over this question, but hold on. We've got some mind-blowing stats that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about NFL quarterback contracts. Stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, we're about to shatter some major myths about Dak, playoffs, and the price tag of NFL success. You won't believe who's getting paid top dollar with 0 playoff wins. This isn't just about Dak, it's about the future of quarterback contracts in the NFL. Ready for a reality check? Let's dive in. Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. Let's set the stage. The Dallas Cowboys' star quarterback, Dak Prescott, is currently engaged in talks for a new contract that could potentially make him the highest-paid player in the NFL. We're hearing whispers of a jaw-dropping $60 million per year, but let's keep our feet on the ground and focus on the more realistic market value of around $55 million annually. Either way, we're talking about numbers that would make most of us dizzy. Now, here's where the plot thickens. While Prescott's talent on the field is undeniable, we're talking about a player who's been to the Pro Bowl 4 times and led the Cowboys to the playoffs in 3 of his 7 seasons. Many national outlets are questioning whether he's worth such a hefty price tag. The main argument? His lack of playoff success. But hold your horses, folks. Former NFL star Cam Newton recently dropped some knowledge that's got us questioning everything we thought we knew about quarterback contracts. On the 4th and On podcast, Newton broke down the current top 10 highest-paid quarterbacks in the league. Now, here's the bombshell. Out of all these highly paid quarterbacks, only one has a Super Bowl ring. Can you guess who? That's right, it's Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs wonderkind, who's already etched his name in NFL history. Newton pointed out, and I quote, "A lot of guys on here that doesn't have a lot of playoff success. So if you're going to sit up here and judge Dak Prescott on playoff success, I'm looking at a list of guys that don't even have no playoff experience or not even a playoff win. So come on, what are we doing?" It's worth noting that Cam Newton hasn't always been Dak's biggest cheerleader. In fact, he's been known to dismiss Prescott's talents in the past. But in this case, he's raising a point that's so valid, it's got us all scratching our heads. Dak Prescott's playoff record stands at 2-5 in 7 games. Is it stellar? No, it's not. Is it cause for concern? Perhaps. But how does it compare to the other top-paid cubes? Let's dive into the numbers. Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals Golden Boy, has an impressive 5-2 playoff record and a Super Bowl appearance under his belt. Patrick Mahomes, as we mentioned, is in a league of his own with 2 Super Bowl rings and a 11-3 playoff record. Jared Goff, somewhat surprisingly, has had some success too, sporting a 3-3 playoff record and a Super Bowl appearance. Justin Herbert, the Los Angeles Chargers' cannon-armed quarterback, has yet to win a playoff game. In fact, he's only appeared in 1, which ended in a heartbreaking loss. Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals? Same story, 0-1 in the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence? He's won 1 in the postseason, with his lone win coming in a dramatic comeback against the Chargers. Deshaun Watson? His playoff record is a modest 1-2. And Kirk Cousins? Despite his veteran status, he's a mere 1-3 in the postseason. So, why is there such a disproportionate amount of criticism directed at Prescott? It seems that his playoff record is being held to a different standard compared to his peers, who are earning similar paychecks. Is it because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys, often referred to as America's team, and thus faces more scrutiny? Or is there something else at play here? Let's be clear, Dak's playoff performance does leave room for improvement. His completion percentage dips slightly in the postseason, and he's thrown almost as many interceptions, 4 as touchdowns, 5 in his playoff career. But if we're using that as the primary metric for determining a quarterback's worth, shouldn't we apply the same standard across the board? The fact is, quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins, Justin Herbert, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, and Kyler Murray have all secured top-dollar contracts despite their limited playoff success. So doesn't Dak Prescott deserve the same consideration? But wait, you might say, what about regular season performance? Surely that's a factor in determining a quarterback's worth. And you'd be absolutely right. So let's take a look at how Dak stacks up in that department. In the 2023 regular season, Prescott led the league in touchdown passes with 36, threw for 4,516 yards, third in the NFL and posted a passer rating of 105.9, second in the NFL. He also led the Cowboys to a 12-5 record and an NFC East title. These are numbers that any team would be thrilled to have from their quarterback. Compare that to some of the other highly paid cubes on our list. Kirk Cousins, before his season-ending injury, threw for 2,331 yards and 18 touchdowns in 8 games. Deshaun Watson, also injured for much of the season, managed just 1,115 yards and 7 touchdowns in 6 games. Kyler Murray, coming back from injury, threw for 1,799 yards and 10 touchdowns in 9 games. Even when we look at the quarterbacks who had full seasons, Prescott's numbers hold up well. Jared Goff threw for 4,575 yards and 30 touchdowns. Justin Herbert, in 13 games, managed 3,134 yards and 20 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, 3,858 yards and 21 touchdowns in 16 games. So not only is Prescott's playoff record comparable to, or better than, many of his highly paid peers, but his regular season performance is also top-notch. This begs the question, why is there so much debate about whether he deserves a top-tier contract? It's time we ask ourselves some tough questions. Are we being fair in our assessment of Dak Prescott? Are we holding him to a higher standard than other quarterbacks in the league? And most importantly, are we overlooking his regular season consistency and leadership in favor of a narrow focus on playoff wins? These are the questions we need to grapple with as we watch this contract negotiation unfold. Remember, football is a team sport, and playoff success isn't solely on the quarterback's shoulders. It requires a strong offensive line, reliable receivers, a solid running game, and a defense that can make stops when it counts. While the quarterback is undoubtedly the most important player on the field, he can't win games alone. Moreover, we need to consider the intangibles that Prescott brings to the table. His leadership skills are widely praised by teammates and coaches alike. He's been the face of one of the most valuable franchises in sports since taking over as a rookie in 2016. He's handled the immense pressure of being the Cowboys' quarterback with grace and professionalism. These are qualities that don't show up in the stat sheet, but are invaluable to a team's success. Let's also not forget the economic realities of the NFL. The salary cap continues to rise year after year, and quarterback salaries are rising with it. What seems like an outrageous amount today may well be the norm in a few years' time. Teams are willing to pay top dollar for even the possibility of having a franchise quarterback because the alternative constantly searching for a reliable signal caller is far worse. In conclusion, while Dak Prescott's playoff record may not be stellar, it's comparable to many other highly paid quarterbacks in the league. His regular season performance is consistently excellent, and he brings intangible qualities that are crucial to a team's success. When we look at the full picture, it becomes clear that the criticism leveled at Prescott's contract negotiations may be unwarranted. What do you think? Is Dak Prescott worth top dollar? Or are the critics right to question his value based on playoff performance? Are we applying different standards to different quarterbacks? And how much should postseason success factor into a player's contract negotiations? These are complex questions without easy answers. But one thing's for sure, as we watch Dak Prescott's contract saga unfold, we're witnessing a fascinating case study in how NFL teams value their most important players. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth NFL analysis. We'd love to hear your take on this controversial topic. Until next time, this is the Quarterback Corner, reminding you that in the high-stakes world of NFL contracts, things are rarely as simple as they seem. Stay tuned, stay informed, and keep the debate going. We'll see you on the next episode.